we've been talking about self-love this whole afternoon.
Yeah.
I just wondered, when did that start for you? When did you fall in love with who you are and realize you need more of you?
I like that.
So self-love, self-consciousness, I think I can start because I remember when I must have been like 12. No, younger. Must be maybe 7, 8. And we lived in South Sea at the time. And there was a South Sea shopping center. And there was this shop we would go to do all our grocery shopping and everything. And one day as I was walking into the shop, I see my reflection on the window. And that's the first time I think I saw me. I don't know if that makes any sense. I actually saw myself and I registered Carol, Waivira, whatever. And that would be the first time I would say consciously, so maybe I was even younger, maybe it was 6 or 7, but it was the first time I recognized myself. And now, ever since then, I think it's been a journey of, as I've discovered myself and understood myself, I've also grown to love myself. So I wouldn't say that there was like a switch.
There was no thing.
No, there was no thing except for that thing, because that thing actually stays with me to this day. The first time I saw me. Yeah.
And what was your reaction when you saw yourself in the reflection?
I liked
Carol?
her.
You?
And actually, that is the truth. I've always liked me. Now, I think there's been a lot of interference. Seriously, I've always liked me because I liked her.
Yeah.
I thought, oh, okay, skinny, funny, but my teeth were crooked. But I liked her.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I appreciate it. And I saw her. I think seeing source, seeing, not seeing just physically, but hey, hi. And that,
Yeah. Amazing.
I think if I go, I'm going to take you way back to over 40 years ago. Being the last born in a family of 4 with 2 bigger brothers, I was always their guinea pig. So a lot of things went on in my life that I can't possibly say now because some of them were probably criminal. My brothers took me through hell.
Are you the only girl?
No, there's 2 of us, but I was the smaller one. So I was the easy target. Fast forward to a few years ago. I think because of being the last born, I've always wanted to belong and always wanted to feel like I am a part of something. I am a part of my siblings. I am a part of being in this group. But being a part of those siblings meant I was the one who was the guinea pig. I was the one who was going to be beaten up. I was one, let's see what happens when she touches the electricity wire. So I was always that person.
Yeah, of course.
So fast forward. I am now 56 and taking you back a few years, I fall in love and everything about me is like unloaded and in one place. And then the rug is pulled from under my feet. That's when I discovered self-love. Because I just looked and I thought, my God, it's so easy to be entangled and to forget about yourself, because it's not about forgetting about yourself. It's when you're happy, you're in a place where you're happy with somebody else. So you're compromising yourself a little bit because you are in a space where you're in a partnership. So that partnership fits in with being not self-love. Yes, you've got self-love, but your love is also being loved by somebody else. So when the rug was pulled from under my feet, I was like, wow, Martha, I was floating and trying to find myself again. And I had to find Martha Vincent again. And I looked in the mirror and I was like, I like what I see.
Can I just say though, because I've known you a while, I think it starts, you actually were a daddy's girl.
I was.
And there's something about girls who are daddy's girls that instills a
Self-worth.
sense of I'm special.
Yeah.
That for those of us who weren't, you look for it. You know, I've spent my life trying to be daddy's girl, even though there was no daddy to be the girl of. So there's something there.
He's a spanner. So I'm daddy's girl. I'm the firstborn, only girl. My dad calls himself Combo Ruth. The converse for me is that there's no one that ever matches up to daddy. Because daddy, when I walked in, he lights up. I can do no wrong. I am, favored.
So every man.
So now, how do you beat that?
You can't beat
I'm
it.
waiting for somebody that can
can't.
actually match that.
You can't.
And the few times I've been married, we talked about this the other time. When I went home, my dad was the first one to say, if he can't let you be everything that you need to be,
Come back.
if he won't allow you to achieve your, come back.
Yes.
Open the door.
Yes.
Never. He only said, I'm going to
Yes.
register your absence in his home to his mother the first time because we just for good order. But that's it. And what do you want me to do? Do you want me to do anything more? So that's a thing as well. So there's the other twist to the tale when you're not daddy's girl looking for it.
Yeah.
Daddy's
You
the girl looking for daddy.
And you'll never really find
And
him
then
because no
who's
one
gonna-
can
nobody
reach
can do
that.
that. Yeah.
No one.
Except
no one.
except if they never reached it, so everyone else will be.
Yeah, well.
Yeah.
will come
What
second or
about
third.
you?
So I think for me, completely different from Martha is I was a last born as well, but a last born that somehow was the one who made everything okay for everybody. So I would be the one protecting my twin sister. I would be the one arbitrating between my older sister and my second born brother who were fighting and not talking to each other. So I was always the one making things okay. And
With a mediator.
I was a mediator and an arbitrator. And unfortunately, I carried that through most of my life. So I never had time to see me. I never had time to see me until my marriage broke down. And I think sometimes when you go through very, very deep pain and very, very deep disappointment, you flip around and then you have the opportunity to look at yourself.
Yeah.
So for me, it came in my mid 40s, and I'm still on that journey. Still on that journey, discovering who is this Kanini, who's not the arbitrator, who's not the person making everything okay. Who is she really deep down? I'm still there.
Like I'm okay, so at 55, I feel like I still haven't figured it out. Like I still, and I was saying this earlier, that the difference between self-indulgence and self-nurturing
Yeah.
has only started to be
Makes
clear
sense.
to me. Because I feel like so often I was just indulging.
Yeah.
Do you know, as opposed to, so the things like, what does it mean to really love yourself? It's like doing the thing that is better for you.
Yeah.
Not just,
I like that
not
actually.
just giving into the first,
Yeah.
you know, that sort of instant gratification.
Yeah.
I feel like it,
Yeah.
so I'm gonna do
Do
it.
it.
I watch
I'm
movies
like,
and I
you
know
know,
I'm
and I
spending
struggle because
Yeah.
I know the things I should be doing for me,
Mm-hmm.
and should is not a great word, but
Yeah,
the
but-
things that
yeah.
would be best for me,
Mm-hmm.
and I'm still struggling to put
Everything
those in
gets in the
practice.
way.
Like I will do better if I commit to anybody else other than me.
Mm.
If I commit to you
Wow.
that I will take you walking every day at 5 o'clock,
You will
It'll
show
work.
I'll show up.
It'll work.
If I commit to
you,
myself, it won't happen.
Oh,
wow.
why? But what is that?
That's
Why?
That's the thing that she's doing.
That's
the thing she's
incredible.
doing.
But
Yeah.
anyway, I don't know whether
But you also have to tell us about you, eh?
Yeah. Don't tell me.
I'm really not. And I like that. Why? Because I don't know whether that's also what makes us driven. I have no idea. But okay, I had 4 children in like 10 years or something. All my 20s, I was
Where you were
diaper
pregnant.
land and wipes land. And I remember the first day I walked through Nakumat and didn't pick up. You know, you just have to drive slowly.
Yeah.
slowly and
I don't
need
need
that
that
I was in my 30s. And then now it all broke down because my life was hinged around my kids. I think I was 34 or something. So then all of a sudden they were telling me good night. I used to take them up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you know, men at that point they don't want babies, so they were out. He's out. So I had no one, I had me. And I did all things, and I thought self-love for me, and that's why I defined it different. I thought self-love was the pampering of myself.
Yeah.
And I quickly discovered it's not, like you're saying,
Yeah.
because for me, self-love is making time to be with my family, because it really re-energizes me. So I don't want the spas. I don't want the, although I used to think that was
That
what
was
it
what
was.
it was, yeah.
But it's, so creating that habit, it's a habit. So like you, or like the rest of you, I hinge it on something else.
Yeah.
You know?
But I think self-love is also being happy being alone. So for me, that was also part of my own discovery that I could be alone. And this actually happened during COVID. I was by myself for 8 weeks in Watamu. away from my children. 8 weeks, I did not speak to a single human being other than the watchman.
Wow.
And why was
At
that?
Medina, at my house. I have a home
Yeah, okay.
there, so
Yeah.
I went there because London was shut down. Being alone is also a way of discovering you and loving yourself, because at
I
that
hate being
point,
alone.
interesting. I loved being alone.
I like being alone.
I'm a loner,
I think that's
actually,
the whole
at
point of
core.
self-awareness. You have to understand what you like.
Yeah.
I love being alone, so my fight is always not to be alone. And that's like, you're saying, and like you're
Yes.
saying, that's what's better for me.
Yes.
Yeah.
So I can
I can.
forget.
Yeah.
But yeah,
Yeah.
please continue.
But why is it a fight?
Because it's not good for me
Why is it not good for you?
to be alone.
Yeah.
Because then I miss out on all the love that actually energizes me, that actually makes me want to do better, that makes me want to be a better me. That, in fact, nothing. It's just fun to be with the people you like. Actually, when you're alone, you don't discover the people you like.
I don't know. I just feel like being alone sometimes helps me recharge my batteries.
Yeah.
It helps me just reflect.
Yeah.
And in my mind, I probably want to be with other people, and I feel like I've got FOMO when something else is
Yeah.
going on. But I know I need to do me time,
Yeah.
Yeah.
and I just shut down. I go on holidays alone,
Yeah.
and I actually really enjoy myself.
I've never been on a holiday.
I've been on holidays on my own many
I
times.
took myself to Valentine's to Maji Maji 2 years ago.
Oh, I know.
Two
Maji Maji,
nights.
it's lovely.
Carol and Carol.
Maji Maji. I did Maji Maji alone.
It was
I love
beautiful.
that.
No,
lovely.
for sure. I mean,
It's
like,
lovely.
so I'm the happiest.
But
I have to fight to come back to the world.
Yeah.
But let's hear from one dear.
But when dear, you do
Yeah.
do alone a lot. Like when you
I
go
don't. I
out-
travel for work.
Yeah.
And you're
Like,
alone
I have
then?
never gone on a holiday by myself. It will happen. There's still time.
Yeah.
I'll be inspired.
I find it's a good space to just recharge your batteries and just
Yeah.
not.
Same
It just
here.
sort of shuts out the noise, and it helps you reflect on things that maybe when you're with people you wouldn't be thinking about.
But Mother, do you not
Okay, so
think-
why don't we say like some of the things we do? Maybe that was one of the questions. I don't know, but like, how do you nurture your self-love? Like, what is it you do
Yeah.
consciously,
'Cause it's different,
consciously, to reinforce that and to like reconnect with you?
yeah. Why don't you start?
I don't know. I'm
Do you know, I think a lot of these things, yeah.
Okay, no, you should. No, seriously, no, wait. I think she should. Yes.
I should start.
Yes.
Such a nice question.
No, because it's so new for me. This is a very new thing. Like it's not something that I have. There's been no conscious effort. So my mother, who's 84, will tell me, one day you have to be your best friend.
Yes.
Like, I don't even know what that means. You know, she's like, be your best friend because you're the one person that you will
Always be with.
Yeah.
always.
Always.
Oh, I like that.
100%.
And so, if you like your company,
Aha.
you will never be lonely.
Yeah.
You'll never, you know. I'm like, that doesn't really make sense to me fully. I mean, I'm trying.
That's okay.
I'm
Yeah,
trying.
yeah.
I'm trying to figure it
Yeah.
out. So,
Yeah.
yeah.
So this journey-
I feel like when I'm alone, my emotions are just exaggerated. So if I'm sad and I'm alone, I'm sadder. And if I'm happy and I'm alone, I'm happier.
Which is good.
But I'm not like, okay, I'm sad and I'm alone. Yay!
Yeah.
I don't understand.
No. If I can share this, it's real. It's just that I think on this side we have you that personality, and I think you as well, and then the loners, and it's okay.
Yeah.
Some people you'll get energy off people, and that's yourself nurturing. Actually,
Actually,
And
that's
so-
right.
Yeah.
That's right.
And
And that's
yeah.
it. To understand
That's
how
true.
you
it
nurture
gets- it's
yourself,
for you to
how you get
understand,
exactly.
because you cannot
I think
be-
that's great.
I cannot.
Yeah.
For me, like for them, if they go out there, they will feel drained. They want the reflective.
In fact, half the
Yeah.
time it's a task. I have to psych up, like literally
Yeah.
to do anything. Because
Yeah.
to work, I have to work. Because why?
You have
I have to make money.
Psych yourself to go and see people.
Yeah,
Humans.
true.
What?
I totally relate to that. No, I really relate to that.
No,
Yeah.
I'm giving
Yeah.
you my story.
Yeah.
Like my. So my children are my children. My work is my work. Those ones are not compromisable. But then there's a lot of other things going on in the world.
Right.
For example, tonight, I don't know, there's a viewing party. So you're going to cookie.
Yeah.
I don't know. Do you know what I want to do tonight? But I won't, because now I have made a commitment to be a bit more. Is to go home and do the Netflix thing. And buy really good wine. And I'm the happiest. And I wake up tomorrow morning, I'll dip into the Roomba class, dip out, and actually, if there is nothing else going on after manicure, pedicure,
And done.
I'm done. And so the thought of spending an evenings, you have to be
an
quality.
effort,
It's just
yeah.
a lot of work. So you really must be worth it.
I like that, Carol, because
That's a way of knowing you.
It's
That- and
knowing you.
know
That
you.
is
Yeah,
also-
it's not the same for her.
not the same.
Yes.
Exactly. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, it's
you need to
different.
find yours. That's
you
what
are.
self-love is. It's also self-discovery.
yeah.
Oh, I like that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Self-discovery.
Wait.
Yeah.
Can we talk about that for a bit?
Yeah.
How? Because I think there's so many people who haven't discovered themselves. So, what's that journey? Like, how do you go about
Self-discovery.
discovering who you are?
I could give you a step-by-step process.
Do you have an abridged version?
Yeah. A manual.
Yeah.
No.
So I'm going to go back to what Carol just said, and I totally feel that, because I sometimes could be choosing, like, say, I'm going to go take myself on a holiday, I'm going to travel on my own, I'm traveling across the world, I'm sitting there, I'm reading my book, I'm drinking my champagne, and I'm on my own. And then you see somebody coming down the corridor, and I've been on my own maybe for 4 or 5 days, and I see somebody coming in my direction, and I'll make a conscious effort to make sure they do not see me, because I don't want them to interrupt with the space I have put myself in. And I don't want to do chit chat, I don't want to do small talk, because right now I am doing Martha.
Yeah.
I'm doing my time, I'm doing me, and I don't want it to become a, oh, where did you go? Oh, what did you do? No, I'm actually just traveling back, wanting to go back to my couch and my Netflix on my own, and not wanting to say, oh, we need to catch up.
100%.
So I really get that.
Yeah.
I really get that.
Yeah.
And I know there's so many times when I've, gone to places, maybe I've gone to have I've got my laptop, I'm just doing me, and I see people and I'm like, I really don't want to engage. Oh, let's have a drink. Oh, let's do. Because sometimes
And you should
need
see
to switch
Martha.
off.
She's like the life of the party.
Yeah, but that's
I think that's probably why it is.
Switch it on.
Yeah, I think that
switch it on.
when I need to switch it
Then you
on,
can switch
I
it
will
on.
switch it on. And
Yeah.
I think especially last year, because I was switching it on like 100.
all the time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All the
So you're so
time.
tired.
Every time I left Karen, I actually took a holiday on my own.
Yeah.
Every time we had a major event in Karen, I'd get on a plane and I'd do a holiday on my own. Because I just need to recharge my batteries. I need to find Martha again. I need to reconnect with Martha again.
So self-discovery, and then I think we should maybe ask one more question, and then we're going to have to.
Yeah, self-discovery.
Because some of us have places to go. All right, but I think
And socializing
I
to
think
do.
We should end with a question around sort of sharing advice or thoughts or whatever for
Yeah.
people who
Yeah,
may
the
be
last one.
struggling.
Yeah.
With
Who may
self-love.
not- Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
With unplugging,
Yeah.
basically.
So
Yeah.
this, I still want to come to the self-discovery thing for each of us. Sorry, I've kind of taken over.
No, it's fine.
I've noticed.
Because she should be in the fray too.
Yeah, but
Yeah,
like,
be in the
so,
fray.
so,
Please,
so
both of
like
us
if we could each say
uncoupled.
something about what that self-discovery journey, what sparked it, or whatever, how you went about it, whether was it therapy, was it talking to friends, was it people, was it
Was
books,
it a divorce?
was it a divorce?
Yeah.
What triggered it? So
I mean, I'll go. I mean, I think for me, there was a trigger. There was an event that happened in life,
Yeah.
which was this, the end of a marriage, which is almost like a death in a
Yeah.
way. But that trigger then led to other things happening, like me finding a practice where I constantly try and find myself, and that is meditation. And honestly, if whoever is listening who's trying to find and discover who they really are, being silent every day for 10 minutes, just 10 minutes, where you shut your eyes and you shut the world out, that is how you discover yourself.
That's true.
If you do not do that, honestly, I don't think you can discover yourself if you don't have time to be still. So for me, stillness was the way is my practice for self-discovery.
Wow.
What's your practice?
My practice. Okay, I'm very spiritual. So, spiritual, actually, let's be clear, Christian, because spiritual could mean many things. And I think I was just trying to see, okay, first and foremost, I discovered myself in that mirror, and it's always been, I've always been on that journey, seriously. And I've always been a very reflective human being. So I would almost say that this self-discovery thing started for as long as I can remember. I've always been introspecting and reflecting and trying to, what was that reaction? Why did I feel that way? Of course, now it's become more sophisticated as I've grown older, because I can actually catch myself with, here you go again. Not a good idea to go. So I can almost disassociate and have conversation. So, but I think where my spiritual journey, my Christian journey started when I was 14. And as a result of that, okay, there was a major drama because I was caught at school having supplied cigarettes to the cool girls because I was trying to fit in. It's very bad. So, I like I told you, I was skinny and what have you. So no boobs on me. I mean, I want to be in with the cool girls because of boarding school. Sophie and Nancy and Sheila, boom, 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 and they're all going to carnival. They're doing all these nice things, and me, I'm just there, not with anything really. But I said, I can get you Rothmans because my dad used to. Anyways, oh my gosh! So I go after my steal 2 packets. We come back to school that afternoon. That evening, I give the girls. They go and smoke. I didn't even smoke the damn things. Anyway, so problems. One of the girls snitched and went and told us prefects. The whole thing was just a mess. By end of school, we were detained. I was in one Nairobi girls. Mrs. Maneki made us uproot tree roots, trunks that had, it didn't even work. Anyway, so now to go home and now figure out my mom, of course, came to pick me up, discovered what was going on, left me. So for the first time, I had to take a matatu home because then my dad wasn't around. He came now like on a Sunday after I came back from school. He was very disappointed, but then he says, you have to figure out yourself. He gave me some philosophical answers about, some... Anyway, so I went to Word of Life camp.
Word of Life.
Yes. And Pastor Ambrose.
Oh, yeah.
And I tell you, that's it. I know folks don't think I'm really
We think you're crazy.
deep with Jesus.
Yeah.
It's not even a joke. It's not even a joke. Seriously.
Yes.
I've wilderness. Yeah?
Yes.
I'm like the children of Israel. Detour upon detour.
Not all those who wander do not have a destination.
Yes. But that's actually for me where I would say my discovery came from. As a result of my relationship, the fissure event, young, but then with the relationship with Christ and God, and then now, so center, always calibrating, checking in, coming back, and so that's my story. And that's not expected, I guess.
I like that. I think it's really special. Yeah, I suppose it's me. I think, like Kanini, I think a trigger. But I'm still work in progress because I don't think it's something that I can say I have mastered. I'm still discovering myself. I'm still working on myself. Again, like Carol said, I'm also very spiritual. I'm also very Christian. I'm a believer. I pray. And to be honest, my prayers have been answered. So that for me is a place where I find a lot of comfort. And I'm trying to actually better my prayer life because I believe sometimes where I am today doesn't just happen. It's not just something you pull out of a hat. So my prayer life is also very important to me. So for me, it's a work in progress. And I carry on to discover Martha and to find out, which way I should be going. Now I'm sort of like, I've lived longer than I'm going to live from here to the end. So, I'm 57. So, I've come from so far. At 57, I'm not going to be 114.
true.
Well, maybe God will grant me 114 years.
Yeah.
But where I've come from
Yeah.
is so far.
And
To
we
be
are
57 is
yeah.
not a joke. You know, I'm
Yes.
already past the halfway line. So I've come from further than where I'm going. So
very
I just wait on God and just wait to see. No, I sound like my mom, by the way.
No, that's
But I actually, believe it. Actually believe it because I think, you know, with, you know, like 2 years ago, my trigger, my spirituality, and I'm a work in progress.
Beautifully
Andia.
said.
So I actually think that heartbreak. I think heartbreak is the most painful thing, and also the gift. The gift that will, because when you're in so much pain, you have to figure out how to feel better again.
Yeah.
And you have to see the sun again, because
Yeah.
like literally it's like
Yeah.
everything is dark.
Yes.
And you're like, what happened to the sun?
Yeah.
Like, you
Yeah.
know.
Yeah.
And I think the journey of coming through a really painful experience, whether that's, you know, a failed marriage or losing a loved one or whatever, actually opens you up to learning that you can survive.
Yeah.
And you can learn to laugh again, and you can learn to love again, and you can learn to love yourself. You know, so I think that, because to me, it's like, what is confidence? You know, when I speak to my kids, like, what is confidence? Is doing the shit that you're most scared of. It's not doing the easy stuff.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? It's like trying to do the thing that you think you can't do.
Yeah.
So if you can get through the thing you think you can't get through, and you take
That's
yourself through that
That's
with
it.
the assistance
Yeah.
of whatever
Yes.
faith,
Yes.
whatever
Yes.
you know,
Yeah.
belief or whatever.
Yes.
But somehow you got there,
Yes.
and you're like, wow.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Here, here.
And yeah, so for me, my most painful moments is what has helped me love myself the most.
Nice. Yeah.
Cool.
Beautiful.
Great.
And you?
Did you tell us?
Mine's gonna be so weird. So growing up in the 20s with all this, with the babies, meant that my mentors were who? My mother, her aunties, and so
Her aunties or your aunties?
well, it could be both.
Yeah,
Aunties
but
and my
aunties were, yeah.
aunties. And I mean, people my age were career chasing, and
Yeah.
I mean, they were miles away from me. So I think I resigned and actually thought I was going to be a homemaker. And I sat in that space and I felt comfortable.
You made a home.
Yeah.
You bought
Yeah.
furniture.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I think, and I speak to girls and I say, you have to look for mentors of where you want to be, because for me it was so difficult to stop the voice. I keep calling them voices because they're voices. Every time I wanted to do something, it wasn't right. Married women should be like this. It should not be in the bar. And then when I finally got to the limit, you know, there you go overboard there, shui, to the other side.
Yes.
And then realizing that side doesn't excite you as well. So it was just the finding the balance that got me. Now I was thinking, what do I want? Most of the things I've wanted in life have not been mainstream, so to speak. So I left a career, joined another, I'm about to leave another, go to another. So it's always been the discovery that everything that holds me back is fear. To move from being there, it was fear. And to correct that fear, I think for me is always my point of self-discovery. To realize I'm not doing something because there's a narrative running in my head. And I'm actually, the problem is, I'm just afraid. And then I have to tell myself all these stories, but I'm just afraid. So yeah, that's what it's been for me.
But Vicky, what you haven't said to everybody is that you're in a band and you're a very good singer.
That too.
She's in a band. She's in a band.
She performed. Amazing.
And she's a very good singer. I was actually waiting for that. Yeah, she's amazing. Amazing voice.
Okay, well, but
Self-discovery.
Self-discovery.
yeah, because I remember when I joined the band, the husband was like, And the whole family were like, how can
What kind of violence
Yeah.
is this? Is this
Yes.
a rock?
So it's not even like a Roomba, but
It's not worship.
No, it's not. Chapel,
What are you talking about?
like a real singer.
You have really.
Yeah.
Before we close, what's the one thing that you can do to find true self-love?
Okay. So my suggestion, which may or may not resonate, but I feel that take advantage of what you envy.
yeah.
And I don't mean jealousy, because I think jealousy is quite negative. It's like I see you having something I like and I don't want you to have it anymore. So you will go out of your way to destroy somebody else's. I think envy is very different. Envy is like, wow, that's amazing.
Yeah.
I wish I had it too.
Yeah.
I'm happy for you, but I wish I had it. Because when you envy something, it's telling you that there's something
There's a
there
yearning.
you want, you know? So whether that's, I look at you and I listen to you talk about your job and the excitement you have when you talk about it, I wish
Yeah.
I had that. That's telling you that you're probably not in the right space job-wise. Or if it's to do with the relationship, you watch a mother with her children and you're like, man, I love the way your kids feel comfortable with you. I love the way that I watch you. Your boys are so close to you. I don't think there's any secret. Do you know?
Yeah.
So there are all these things, and you know it when you're like, you watch a movie.
Yeah.
So I'm just like, follow your envy.
When you watch a movie,
Follow your envy, because that's telling you
where you want to be.
what's missing.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
The gap.
That would be mine.
Interesting.
Wow.
Yeah,
That's
interesting
nice.
take.
It's interesting, yeah.
Plus one. Like plus
Yeah,
one.
absolutely. Absolutely.
Well, when you agree with something, you say plus one.
Oh, do you?
That will help. Plus one.
You know, to add on to that, I read a phrase somewhere that said, the grass is always greener, but it depends on the angle you're looking at it from.
Okay.
You see, meaning exactly what you said, that things might look better, you might be envious, but it just depends how you're looking at it. If you look at the grass from another side, it could look dry and burnt, but if you look at it from this side, it looks really
Perspective is
green.
everything.
Perspective is everything. Yes, I really like that.
So what's your advice?
My advice is a little bit different. It would be every day, say thank you for 5 things and write them down. Gratitude for me is really the path to getting to real self-discovery and self-love.
Oh, wait, we have to say a bit more though.
Gratitude helps you realize how lucky and blessed you are. And it's actually related a bit to yours, because I find I'm less envious the more thankful and the more gratitude I have, because I realize, oh my gosh, I have so much. Why am I saying I want that? I already have XYZ, which I'm
So
talking
reminding
about
yourself
every
just
day.
how much you have.
How much you have.
Denzel Washington has this
Yeah.
clip where he says, put your shoes way under the bed at
Yeah.
night so that you can get on your knees to
And
find
get
them.
the
And while you're there,
shoes.
Pray.
say thank you.
Exactly.
Say thank you.
That's
Exactly.
important.
Same thing.
That's prayerful.
And write it down. You can think them, but if you write them down, if you journal them, it's a really good way of just having them crystallize in the brain and stay with you.
Wow.
I did it for a while. I must say the thing that worked for me was that it had to be specific to that day. So it couldn't just be those generic, I'm so grateful I'm alive. I'm
Family.
so
Yes.
grateful I have kids. It's like, I'm grateful that I got through the day.
Yes.
I'm grateful that I had that conversation
Yes.
with so-and-so and we reconnected.
Correct.
I'm grateful that when I had a puncture,
Yes.
Those guys showed up.
showed up to
Yeah.
help.
To help you.
Do you know what I mean?
Absolutely.
Because
Yeah.
you,
Be
there's something,
specific.
if you have,
The
if you're forced to
specificity
think
is
through
important. Yes.
what is there to be grateful for
Today.
that's specific to
today.
And then I
Exactly.
would go back and sometimes on a particular day I'd say, okay, what was I grateful for 2 years ago? And I could go back to 2, because I did it on my phone. So I could pick that same date 2 years ago and I'd be like, oh, that's interesting. That's what was special that day.
Yes.
So just not to make it too generic.
Yeah.
Make
Yeah.
it specific.
Make it specific.
I agree.
Yeah.
You?
Myself is to thine own self be true. Okay, so but who are you? So to be true is to then be truly expressing love for yourself. To thine own self is someone that you must know. So I think the whole idea of self-discovery, self-examination, journeying into self, so that you can know that self and then you can be true to that self, is, I think, one of the things I would say would be a real actionable point around how to discover self-love. Who am I? Who am I really? And then I think, the first commandment is to love your God with all your heart and with all your soul. The second one is to love your neighbor as you love yourself. So we all know that the balance of whether it's to find love, friendship, and whatever is to give love, but you can't give what you don't have.
Yeah.
So first you must have it and must determine to have it for yourself. And through all these tips, figure out how to do that. So principle to live by and philosophy to follow.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I've always, I'm a teacher by profession, as I've said many times, and children have been my passion. I've done education for many years, and now I've moved on to doing other things, but that's still very close to my heart. I don't talk about this, and obviously thank you, Andia, for putting me in this position where I'm actually just reflecting and thinking about me and who Martha is and what really pleases me. The Bible says it always feels better to give than to receive. And if I wasn't sat here, I wouldn't have actually reflected on this particular part of my life. But for many years, I've had children in my village, a home that I run, a school that I run, and I give to them, not for them, but for me, because that's who I am, and that makes me feel whole. It actually makes me, it makes me sleep at night, because I always feel God has given me so much that I can actually give of myself to other people. And, I don't want to dwell into that. Maybe that's another session for another day. But, I mean, obviously when you ask...
So are you saying that part of loving yourself is having, giving?
Yes.
Giving,
so part of loving myself is doing what I feel in my heart God has set in my heart for me. Because if I didn't do that, then I would be denying Martha what Martha wants to do and what Martha loves to do. And no matter how, I don't come and I say to my pals at the club, oh, by the way, let's go to Gatuni, let's do it. No, because that's not for them. This is what I feel in my heart Martha wants to do. So I do it, and I've done it for many years. I don't talk about it. Not many people know about it, but I do it for me. And that is loving Martha, because that is what makes me feel whole. And that's what makes me feel that I'm doing outside of all my busy, noisy life. That's what I like to do. So I actually do something for me that means a lot to me. So, I mean, it's such a different angle, but it's for me, and I've done it for so many years. It feels, my cup overflows. My cup overflows.
Wow. Okay. So I think that it's Sandy Bindra who wrote that you're a speck on a speck on a speck. I think that has stayed with me since I read it, because it liberated me. Because I feel for you to go into self-discovery, you have to stop being who you think you should be. So I feel that act of humility liberates you from even doing the most outrageous things, because you think you can't do something because what will so and so say, how will they label it. But for me, I think you first have to kind of bring yourself to nothing, and from there you will then you'll discover giving actually makes you happy. You don't have to do other things. And for you've always known since. And also that has given me permission to realize that I don't know myself. But I am so open for anything. And I trust that.
That's beautiful.
And that's how I live. I trust wherever I am going, wherever I'm being pulled to is. Before I used to be like, hey, my mother, my uncle,
Yes.
Jimmy.
Yes.
Jimmy. She's introducing me to Jimmy. Okay. Jimmy. She's forgotten. It's okay.
So I want to share a quote because it's a quote I actually live by, has shaped so much of the way I see things. And it's by someone, I don't even know if it's a man or a woman, but anyway. Ram Dass.
I know Ram Dass.
Is that a man or a woman?
It's a man.
It's a man.
Bless his
All right.
soul, he's dead now.
Okay.
Yeah.
So one of Ram Dass' quotes is, "We are all just walking each other home."
Wow.
Yeah.
I love it.
Yeah.
I've written down.
And to
Wow.
me, we're
Wow.
walking
That's
Yeah.
powerful.
each other
Yeah.
back home to ourselves.
Yeah.
And that's that
Exactly.
journey of
Yeah.
self-love.
Exactly.
And it's almost
Wow.
like we're born innocent
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
perfect, and then the first half of our lives is
We're
like
just-
confusing us and messing. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And then you get to a point where you're like, okay,
You're in the last
can I
bit.
come back to who I really
Yeah.
was?
Yeah.
And that's what relationships are for, is to just remind us who we are, and for ourselves.
Yeah.
In our relationship with
With
ourselves, is
ourselves.
to remind us who we are and what is home. Home is
What we
is
want.
where we love
Yes.
ourselves.
Yeah.
That's home.
It's here. This is home.
Yeah.
This is home.
This is it.
So to walk in each other.
Oh, I love it. To walking each other home.
Walking each other
Yeah, I love
home.
it. Cheers, one dear.
Cheers.